Alright, welcome to the video tutorial for the SAM Module 3 Project 1A project. This is the Advantia Biotech. So why don't we go ahead and open up our start file for this. Hopefully you've got the directions printed off, but I'm just going to go to Open and navigate to where I store all of my data files. So for me it's in my flash drive. Course 1023. My data files for that module. I've got a separate SAM one, and this is going to be SAM 3A yourname_1. So it's the project that's to Dr. Tracy Lamont. We're going to go ahead and immediately save this and just change the name of the project from _1 to _2. Alright, so here's our start file. Just make sure you've got the data, the support file called Letterhead for this, because you're going to need that one right away. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're creating this cover letter. So we're going to insert the missing letterhead by going to open up that letterhead file. So we're going to do a file, open, browse. And again, I'm going right back to where I've got my data files for the SAM projects. And we want the one called Letterhead. Go ahead and open it. Alright, once we've got that open, it's just going to be this picture of this kind of splotchy thing. It's Advantia Biotech logo letterhead. I'm going to select the border to get this solid line. And then I'm going to, you can copy it. I'm just going to do a Control-C. And then I am going to close that. And then we're going to, with our insertion point at the top of that page, and I'll get my formatting marks turned on, so right up here, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there. And we didn't have to do any special paste, we're just going to paste it right into the document, keeping all the source formatting. Alright, so now in the blank paragraph below that, we're going to go ahead and enter our date. So it says enter the current date using the May 5, 2021 format. You can either type it, or in my case I'm gonna, and again, I don't know if you're gonna lose a point for this or if you'll get the points, but whenever I hear current date, I always insert a date field with an automatic update. So I'm just gonna go insert text, date and time, and then that formatting, update automatically. Okay. Alright. And then as we're going through this, periodically you may want to save your work. Alright, so in step 3 it says on page 2, format the picture of the Advantia Biotech logo, right over here. To correct the placement, rotate the picture 90 degrees. So with our picture selected, go to our Picture Tools Format tab. We're going to rotate left 90 degrees. And then we're also going to position in top right with square text wrapping. So position top right with square text wrapping. Alright, that's step 3. Step 4 says use the Format Painter to copy the formatting from the paragraph 7th Annual Conference. So 7th Annual Conference right here. Just select somewhere there, click our Format Painter, and we're going to paint that to the paragraph hosted by Advantia Biotech. So right below it. Alright, then step 5 says select the text insert bullet here. So I'm just going to select the text with the bracket around it. And it says insert the symbol, the circle symbol 183. So I'm going to go up to my insert symbol, symbols dialog, and it's going to be this one right here. I've used it recently, but I'm just going to go to my more symbols. I'm going to change this to the ASCII decimal and change it to 183. There's that little bullet right there. I'm going to insert, close, and there's that. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. So it's going to be, if I turn off my formatting marks, it's just this little tiny bullet. But just again, so when you have your formatting marks on, it should look like that space, space, space looking thing. But when you turn off the formatting marks, you've got a space, bullet, space. So that's how it should be. Alright, so that is at step number 5, was it? 6. 5. Step number 5. Now on to step number 6, change the font size of the paragraph conference highlights. So conference highlights, we're just going to change that to 16 point to match the font size of the other main headings. Then step 7 says clear the formatting from the paragraph innovations in biotech. So we're just going to click somewhere in this paragraph and then clear out. Let's select the paragraph and clear all formatting. And again, that's the little A with the eraser. Step 8 says format the picture of the conference attendees. So right down here, this is really dark. So we're going to go ahead, select our Format Picture Tools Format tab. We're going to make the corrections. And this one wants us to choose the brightness plus 40, contrast plus 20. So your brightness plus 20 are going to be over here. And then your contrast plus 20 is going to be down near the bottom. So the 5th column, 4th row. Brightness plus 40, contrast plus 20. And then we're going to add the alt text description to this. So in your Picture Tools Format tab, still selected, click on that alt text or alternate text. And then this alternate text we're going to type is people attending the 2020 conference. No period. People attending the 2020 conference. No period. And then just close that. It'll automatically apply that. And step number 9 says go to page 3. And then we're going to insert in the blank paragraph under the conference program. So right here. We're going to go to insert, and then we're going to choose our Smartart options. We're going to choose the basic matrix. So matrix basic is this first one. Okay. Alright. And then here it says in the upper left shape, type 1, press enter, then type testing. So 1, enter, testing. And then in this upper right shape, we're going to type 2 to enter material. Alright, and then the lower left shape, we're going to enter 3, return medical. And then finally in this 4th shape, the bottom right, 4, return energy. Alright. Then it says format the Smartart to make it more attractive. So I'm going to make sure I deselect the shapes, any individual shape, and just select the whole thing. We're going to format it, changing the colors to gradient range accent 1. So change colors to accent 1. And then we want gradient range. And then we're going to change the style to subtle effect. This one, I believe. Well, it's going to be a best fit. Right there. Subtle effect. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save. Step number 11 says set a tab stop at 6 inches with a right alignment and a leader option 2 for the paragraph days 1 and 2. So come down here, days 1 and 2, and again, it's just going to match this. So you can see the tabs are already inserted. We just have to set the tabs. So we're going to select this line, and then I'm going to go up to my paragraph launcher tab group, and we're going to set a 6-inch right tab with a number 2 style leader, and then set. OK, and there it is to match the one right down below it. Alright, then step number 12 says complete the table for days 1 and 2. So here's days 1 and 2, and format it as follows to be consistent with the table below. Alright, so it says insert a row at the end of the table. I'm just going to bring my insertion point down to this bottom. I'm going to go to my layout tab, insert below, and then the text I'm going to enter is energy research. And then the track is 4. Alright. And then it says apply the grid table 4 accent 1 style. So again, with our table still selected, our design tab, we're going to go to the grid table. This is the grid table 4, and here's our accent 1 style to match that other one. Alright, now into step 13. It says on page 4, so let's go navigate to page 4, add a border to the heading paragraph Dallas City Attractions. So somewhere up in that, on that line, we're going to do it as follows. Apply a top border to the paragraph. So I'm just going to go to my paragraph, or my borders and shading option. And again, it's going to be a top border. We're going to change the line style to the dashed. So it's the third option, right down here. And then change the color to turquoise, accent 1, darker 25%. So right down there. And then change the width of the border to 1.5 points. Alright, so you'll see it hasn't done anything, but if we click up there, there's our top border. Okay. Alright. Step 14 says format the Dallas picture right here in the city attractions section as followed. We're going to flip the picture horizontally, so go into our picture tools format tab, our rotate option. We're going to flip horizontally. We're going to change the wrapping to tight, and we're going to recolor it. So color, and then recolor it with this turquoise accent color 1 light. Alright. Then it says in the blank paragraph below the city attractions heading, insert a table with 2 columns and 4 rows. So we're going to insert a table with 2 columns and 4 rows. And then we're going to add the text as shown, so district. Here, I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it easier. And then to do. Oh, but not a capital O for that, little o. Alright, and then downtown. History Museum. And then uptown. BBQ restaurant. Arts. And finally theater. Alright. And then step 16 says format the submit abstracts. So right down here. So format the submit abstracts shape in the For More Information section as follows. Change the shape style to Moderate Effect Red Accent 6. So we're going to change our shape style to Moderate Effect Red Accent 6. And we're going to apply the reflection touching. So our shape effects, reflection, and here's tight reflection touching. So it kind of matches that other one. All right. And then step 17 says insert a shape as follows to complete the options available in the Advantia Biotech. We're going to insert a rectangle rounded corner to the right of the submit's abstract. So insert shape, and here's our rectangle rounded corner. I'm going to put it to the right of this, and we're going to make sure that the size of it is 0.6 by 1.1, and mine's close, so I'm just going to change it to 0.6 by 1.1. And we're going to add the text brochure. We're going to position it using an absolute horizontal position. So with that one selected, where it says we're going to use that size launcher, and then position. And this one wants a horizontal position of 2.9 to the right of column. So absolute position 2.9 to the right of column, and then our vertical position is going to be absolute 0.03, and this one's going to be below paragraph. Okay, and then we're going to use the Format Painter to apply the formatting from the registration. So click on the registration one, go to our Home tab, click on the Format Painter, and apply to that picture. Alright. Then we can go ahead and do any spell check. So I'm just going to do a Control Home to go to the beginning of my document and run a spell check. So Advantia, I'm going to ignore all because we're assuming they've spelt it correctly throughout. Biotechnological, there's one spelling error. That one is done. Alright, so that one is done. It is ready to go. Go ahead and save it and submit.